So Apple just released the brand new MacBook Pros, and holy this thing is absolutely insane. And no doubt about it, in my mind, this is like my dream machine. I could honestly not think of anything else that I need or want from a computer that this already provides. And it's gonna make a lot of people happy. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But here's a question. Is the regular M1 chip now pretty much obsolete? MacBook Pro, like that I've been using for the past, year, is it useless? And if we haven't bought one yet, should we not even be considering the M1 MacBook Pro with like the regular M1 chip? I have some thoughts. So high level, here are all the significant changes we're looking to get with the brand new MacBooks that Apple just announced. Of course, firstly, we have the chipset. We have the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. It's gonna be much stronger, better CPU, GPU, etc., etc. We know the drill. It happens year over year. We get slightly bigger screens, the 14-inch being slightly bigger, whereas now we also have the option of the 16-inch screen. So if you're like me and somebody who edits a lot on the go, then having that 16-inch screen might be beneficial. Next up, Liquid Retina XDR display with the mini LED and ProMotion. Now this is actually a lot bigger for me than I would have imagined. Like when I got the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, which pretty much has the same technology, it was like far beyond any screen I've used on tech, so up to date. And to have that same mini LED display now on my MacBook Pro is super exciting, and I'm super stoked for it. Not to mention ProMotion. Like I'm so used to ProMotion on like my iPhone 13 as well as the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. The only thing missing now is like an external display with ProMotion from Apple. So hopefully we come out with that soon. We're also going to get a better battery life, especially on the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Naturally makes sense. It's a bigger computer. You're going to get better battery life. It's also touted to have better speaker sound system as well as better studio quality mics. Apple mentioned up to 60% better mics. So interesting to see that. I have used those mics in a pinch, and for voiceover and stuff, it has been pretty handy. You also have more storage options now, all the way up till 8 terabytes, and you have more memory, better FaceTime camera. Finally, officially 1080p FaceTime camera on the front. And they've replaced Touch Bar with actual physical keys, which I know a lot of people were asking for. I personally didn't mind the Touch Bar, but I mean, the physical keys are dope. And not to mention, much better I/O. Like the input and outputs you're getting on this are so much better. We get HDMI back, we get SD card slot back, we get MagSafe charging, and we have now 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports. Now look, I know a lot of people don't want to give Apple credit for putting these ports back because they technically took them out, so it's like, let's not make this available for a couple years and then make people really miss it and complain about it all the time, and then we'll add it back and it'll seem like a brand new feature. So I understand where you're coming from. I'm just happy that they listened to the end user, because all the pros were yelling, saying, hey guys, we need these ports back. And even though Apple was kind of like, no, this is the direction we're going in, they decided to listen to us and put this back. So I will give them credit where credit's due. Credit for listening to us, but not credit for taking them out and adding them back in as a new feature, technically. A lot of the stuff that I just mentioned, I mean, they're all super cool and good to have, great to have, in fact. But literally, the Pro market has been living with regular M1 chips for pretty much a year now, if not more, and we've been completely fine for the most part. People have still been creating dope content. People have still been putting out cool stuff, and nobody was really handicapped by the M1 chip as much. Like, we found workarounds. Yes, it wasn't ideal, but people found workarounds, like using dongles. The M1 Pros have been perfectly fine. In fact, I was editing on the MacBook Air with the M1 chip for several months without any issues, for the most part. Like, yes, there were lags and stuff like here and there when I started to do like color grading and whatnot, but for the average person who's out there, maybe they want to just start a YouTube channel or is just making stuff for like the internet on TikTok and Instagram, they don't really need these like pro level models like the M1 MacBook Air or Pro. I mean, I feel that's way more than enough. So I position these brand new MacBook Pros that just came out as pretty much actual pro machines. When they say MacBook Pro this time, this actually means pro. If you're somebody who's doing YouTube stuff or production or coding or anything else that is pretty much computer heavy, as a professional, then these machines can make sense for you. And let me explain this in another way. You can actually pick up a base MacBook Pro 13-inch with the old M1 chip for $1299 versus a base 14-inch new MacBook Pro is $1999. Or if you want even more of a bargain, like performance per dollar, then the base MacBook Air for $999. We're talking about a $700 to $1,000 difference. You could do a lot with that extra cash, right? Like literally buy like an entire like desk setup and like, you know, invest in like a monitor or something like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not at all saying that the new MacBook Pros aren't worth it or they're a bad buy or anything like that. Heck, it's got me more excited than anything else this year, and I bought it instantly the second I was able to. But all I'm saying is if you're not doing media work or anything that requires you to use a computer professionally, like as your actual profession, personally, I don't think it's a necessary purchase. Sure, it's a good to have and future proof, but it's a lot more than what you technically need, especially considering the fact that majority of the people are in fact just recording videos at 1080p HD, not even 4K. The regular M1 MacBook Air could even fly through that. So heck, all you need is a dongle with that and you're golden. You don't need anything else. So in conclusion, I just want people to double think what exactly you need, right? Don't get sucked into the entire hype. And I know that the hype is strong right now, and I'm part of the problem but realize here, like the hype train is real because for people like me and that are creating stuff that you're watching on YouTube and everything like that full time, this is arguably a huge update for us, and no doubt we're going to be excited about it. And in the coming weeks, you're going to see tons of videos and, you know, tons of people talking about these new machines, how they're groundbreaking and everything. But again, reminder, just get what you need. Either way, if you're interested in learning more about the new Macs that have come out, or even just hearing about how they compare to the older ones or how the older ones hold up, then make sure you're sub to the channel because I'm going to be doing videos comparing this to the new ones and then comparing the new ones as well and seeing how different they are really. So make sure you guys are sub to the channel. If you like this video and found it beneficial and helpful, then I would absolutely love for you to go ahead and give this video a like, share it with your friends and family who may be considering the MacBook Pro, and whether they actually need it or not, we'll leave that up to them, but just send them the video. In any case, I hope this was beneficial. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, stay blessed, and peace.